It's hard to believe, but this road truly exists. There are roads in the world that are not merely paths, but also breathtaking challenges to science, engineering, and human courage. Imagine a road so spiraled it seems to have no end. Or a road that disappears twice a day under the ocean as if it never existed. The road of death. Because every journey across is a life or death challenge. But no matter how unbelievable, all exist in real life. So, join us in exploring the world's 14 most incredible roads, where every meter of asphalt holds strange, eerie, and challenging stories. Guoliang Tunnel. Amid the rugged mountains of Henan Province, China, there is a road where even a slight mistake can threaten one's life. That is the Guoliang Tunnel, one of the world's most dangerous yet magnificent roads. As astonishing is that this road wasn't, but was carved and opened by the villagers themselves. Previously, this small village was almost completely isolated by high mountains. Sky ladder. With rough, slippery stone steps that were especially dangerous in winter. Unable to live in isolation forever, 13 strong men from the village, led by village chief Shen Mijin, decided to dig a road through the mountain. With no machinery to assist, they had only hammers, chisels, and determination. Day after day, each rock was chiseled away, each meter of road was opened. The arduous work lasted for 5 long years. And finally, a 1.2 kilometers long, 5 meters high, 4 meters wide road appeared between the sheer cliffs. A special feature of this tunnel is the large windows, carved directly into the rock walls. These windows initially only served to help workers dump rubble. But upon completion, they became beautiful frames where tourists can gaze down into the valley below. But these same windows make everyone's heart skip a beat when looking down, because a single misstep could lead to a fall of over 600 meters. Although it takes only 10 to 15 minutes to traverse this road, most tourists choose to stop to admire the scenery and feel the grandeur of nature. But more than that, Guoliang Tunnel is not just a road. It's a story of perseverance, of a spirit that refuses to yield to hardship. Do you think so? Maeklong Railway Market, Thailand. From the treacherous roads of Bolivia, the journey takes us to a completely different scene. Bustling, lively, yet no less thrilling. That is the Maeklong Railway Market in Thailand, one of the world's most unique markets, where people and trains share a single path. Located in Samut Songkhram Province, about 80 kilometers from Bangkok, Maeklong Market has existed since the early 1900s and remains vibrant to this day. The most special aspect of this market isn't just the fresh seafood or lively atmosphere, but the railway line that runs right through its heart. 8 trains pass through here daily, but instead of halting the market, the vendors have turned this into a skillful ritual. When the bell signals an approaching train, the vendors immediately retract their umbrellas and move their goods to make way for the train to pass. And just minutes later, as the train rolls away from the market, everything returns to daily life as if nothing ever happened. The train runs at a speed of only about 15 kilometers per hour, slow enough to ensure safety. But the sight of a train car gliding right before your eyes, just centimeters away from the market stalls, always leaves tourists breathless. This is not just a market, it is a magnificent dance between humans and machinery, between tradition and modernity. Although accidents are very rare for tourists, visiting the Maeklong Market still requires a bit of caution. The narrow space between the tracks and the stalls is not for the inattentive. But once you witness this rare spectacle firsthand, it will surely be an unforgettable experience. Dear viewers, after watching this road, does it remind you of any familiar scenery in your country? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Ma Pai Lang, Vietnam. Lying serenely on National Highway 4C, crossing the rugged lands of Hawi and Palong communes. Ma Pai Lane is not just a road but a majestic symbol of Hajian, where mountains touch the sky and every inch of the road and blood of its pioneers. National Highway 4C, also known as the Happiness Road, is the red thread connecting Hajian City with Don Van and Mio Vac towns, traversing the wild yet proud lands of the Don Van Karst Plateau. Like a stone dragon winding through the vast mountains, Ma Pai Lane stretches nearly 20 kilometers. Crossing the Ma Pai Lane mountain range at dizzying heights of 1,200 to 1,400 meters. Each stretch of road is a masterpiece of nature and human effort. With towering cliffs embracing the winding road and deep abysses that seem to swallow light, the landscape is both magnificent and perilous. Standing atop the pass, gazing into the distance, one can see the No-K River like a green silk ribbon draped across the mountains, flowing gently yet carrying the power of countless waves. Mist swirls around distant peaks, blending with the whistling wind like an endless symphony of heaven and earth. But behind this beauty lie stories of courage and extraordinary perseverance. The Happiness Road is not just a road but a miracle created by tens of thousands of volunteers from 16 ethnic groups across 8 northern provinces of Vietnam. Over 6 long years from 1959 to 1965, over 2 million workdays were poured into turning sheer cliffs into a lifeline. The section crossing Ma Pai Lane Pass was the most severe challenge. Young men and women hung from vertical cliffs, chiseling the road centimeter by hand for 11 months. No machinery, no modern technology, only sheer determination and a spirit of sacrifice. They are still called the suicide warriors. They bet their lives to conquer nature and open a bright path to this remote land. Have you ever visited this place? Please share your experience with us. Passage du Bois. While the Co Liang Tunnel showcases bold engineering through mountains, in France, a road under the sea holds a special allure. That is Passage du Bois, a road connecting Noirmoutier Island to the mainland but completely submerged underwater whenever the tide rises. Twice a day, this road disappears without a trace, forcing those who wish to cross to time their journey precisely. Otherwise, it will be blocked by seawire. Passage du Bois has existed for a long time, appearing on maps since 1701. Originally, it was just a natural sandbar that locals could walk or use horse-drawn carts to cross when the tide receded. It was not until 1840 that the road was paved for easier travel. However, despite being solidly built, it cannot escape the laws of nature. Every day when the tide rises, the entire road is submerged and can only reappear when the tide recedes. Those who wish to cross Passage du Bois must be extremely careful, as the safe window lasts only about 1 to 2 hours before the tide rises again. The tidal difference can reach up to 4 meters, enough to sweep away vehicles if they fail to escape in time. Therefore, warning signs have been erected along the route, along with emergency towers where stranded people can climb to wait for the tide to recede. Nevertheless, there have been many cases of cars submerged underwater, forcing owners to abandon their vehicles to escape. Even though the tide has receded, Passage du Bois remains a challenge. Seawater and seaweed covering the road surface make it slippery, making movement extremely difficult, especially for those unfamiliar with the terrain. Yet, it is this harshness that gives Passage du Bois its special allure, a strange road in the middle of the sea, where humans must obey the rhythm of nature to pass safely. YANGGAS Death Road. Starting at an altitude of 4,650 meters, or a thick fog persists year-round, the road gradually descends to 1,200 meters, where lush tropical jungles stretch. Within a single journey, one can experience a dramatic change in climate and landscape, from the piercing cold of the high mountains to the warm breath of the Amazon rainforest. Designed perilously with sections only about 3.2 meters wide and no protective barriers, it has become a nightmare for drivers. If two vehicles meet head-on, drivers are forced to reverse or hug the cliff face to make way. Each trip is an extreme tension. A single small mistake can lead to catastrophic consequences. During the rainy season from November to March, the road becomes even more dangerous with landslides, slippery mud, and fog obscuring visibility. Vehicles plunging into the abyss, crosses scattered along the roadside, all serve as traces of the many fates forever left here. Today, traffic has shifted to safer routes, but YANGGAS still attracts adventurers, especially mountain bikers. A journey full of danger but also an opportunity to touch the fragile boundary between life and death. Nestled in the majestic Alps of Italy, the Stelvio Pass is not just a road but a mesmerizing engineering masterpiece. Renowned as one of the world's most spectacular routes, a dream destination for thrill-seeking drivers and souls yearning to conquer nature. Imagine a road winding like a silk ribbon through the mountains, with countless hairpin bends challenging even the most experienced drivers. Each turn of the wheel is a tense moment, as the car seems to glide past the edge of a deep, captivating abyss. But in return, the unfolding scenery is a breathtaking painting of the Alps, snow-capped peaks, lush green valleys stretching endlessly. Not just for cars, the Stelvio Pass is also a paradise for motorcyclists and cyclists, feeling the wind rush past while cornering, exhilarating accelerations amidst majestic nature. That is what draws thousands of visitors each year. However, conquering this pass is no easy feat. Especially during the peak season from June to September, heavy traffic forces drivers to stay highly focused. Local authorities have implemented numerous safety measures to control traffic and ensure the route remains in optimal condition, allowing everyone to fully enjoy its magnificent beauty without encountering unfortunate risks. Zogila. If the Stelvio Pass captivates hearts with bends as beautiful as in a painting, then Zogila in India makes hearts skip a beat due to its extreme peril at an altitude of 3,528 meters. Connecting the Kashmir Valley with the cold desert region of Ladakh, it is one of the world's most dangerous routes, where even a small mistake can cost one's life. Zogila is not merely a road but a strategic lifeline connecting two crucial regions of India. Historically, this pass has witnessed fierce battles, particularly during the war between India and Pakistan. From 1947 to 1948, at that time, the Indian Army used tanks to defend the pass, marking one of the greatest tank battles in history. Today, though improved, Zogila remains a harsh challenge. The road is only wide enough for one vehicle, clinging to sheer cliffs. Below are deep, dizzying chasms with no solid asphalt surface. Rainy days turn this pass into a slippery mud pit, while winter brings blizzards, sometimes isolating it for months. Each year, snow clearing operations are an endless battle. Heavy machinery must work day and night to open the road, but just one major storm buries everything in ice again. Local residents, seasoned drivers, are often hired to guide brave tourists wanting to experience this route. Aware of the dangers Zogila poses, the Indian government has launched a bold project. It involves building a 14 kilometers long tunnel to bypass the most dangerous section. Upon completion, the tunnel will make travel safer while ensuring this vital route can operate year-round without being affected by avalanches or blizzards. Though one of the world's most terrifying roads, for those brave enough to conquer it, Zogila offers an unforgettable experience where humans confront untamed nature in a grueling yet equally magnificent struggle. If anyone thinks they have conquered the most treacherous roads, they likely have never set foot on Jacob's Ladder. A true challenge for the bold-hearted. This is not just a road but a journey carved into the Tasmanian wilderness, where every bend tests the courage of travelers. Jacob's Ladder, a name evoking a staircase to heaven, is a spectacular road with a gradient of up to 25%. Winding like a snake through pristine, majestic scenery, each bend reveals a completely new perspective. From dense green slopes to sheer cliffs. But that beauty is not for the faint of heart, with a sheer cliff face on one side and a deep abyss on the other. Just a moment of distraction can turn this exploratory journey into a perilous adventure. Not only famous for its treacherousness, Jakob Leder also holds mysterious tales. According to legend, this road is named after Jakob, a mythical figure who ventured into this land in search of a hidden treasure. Stories passed down through generations make the journey to the summit of Jakob Leder not just a physical challenge, but also a trip through the dust of time, touching upon unsolved mysteries. For those eager to explore, Jakob Leder is not merely a route, it is an experience, an unforgettable mark in life. The legendary Karakoram Highway between heaven and earth. If you are impressed by Thailand's Meklong railway market, the Karakoram Highway takes the sense of adventure to a whole new level. This is not only a road connecting Pakistan and China but also a great engineering marvel, revered by locals as the eighth wonder of the world. Stretching over 1,300 kilometers, this route traverses the treacherous Karakoram mountain range, home to K2, the second highest peak on the planet, starting from Punjab, Pakistan, and ending at Kashgar, China. This legendary road passes through pristine and magnificent lands like the Hunza Valley, Iljet, Pakistan, and the Gujarat Pass, one of the world's highest border crossings at over 4,693 meters. The construction of the Karakoram was a grueling 20-year journey from 1959 to 1979, involving over 24,000 workers. Unfortunately, more than 1,100 people lost their lives due to treacherous terrain, landslides, and harsh weather conditions. But it is precisely this resilience that imbues the road with the breadth of history, once part of the ancient Silk Road, a vital trade artery connecting east and west. Driving on the Karakoram is like stepping into a magnificent natural painting. On one side, sheer cliffs, on the other, deep chasms. Winding curves, unexpected landslides, or sections frozen in winter make the journey full of challenges. However, the reward for those who dared to conquer this road is the spectacular scenery of the legendary Hunza Valley. Killer Mountain. Yet, for adventure enthusiasts, the Karakoram remains one of the world's most memorable routes, where challenge, history, and breathtaking wild beauty converge. Leh-Manali Highway. South Ashima-Ohashi Bridge, India. This is not just a route but a true adventure amidst the majestic nature of the Himalayas. Situated at over 5,000 meters above sea level, this route stretches over 480 kilometers, connecting the regions of Leh and Manali. The scenery along the way is like a grand film, with snow-capped peaks, endless valleys, and rivers shimmering under the sunlight. But the journey on this road is not for the faint-hearted. A dizzying altitude can cause altitude sickness, forcing people to gradually adapt to the dead air. Harsh weather, unexpected landslides, or narrow sections clinging to cliff faces only add to the challenge of the trip. Especially in winter, many sections are covered in ice, turning the road into a true survival challenge. Despite the dangers, Leh-Manali still attracts adventurous souls, experienced drivers, and dreamers wanting to touch the purest nature. They say driving on this route is like stepping into a fairy tale, with each turn revealing a new, heart-stirring scene. To make the journey smoother, stopovers like Dara Village or the Sarchu camping area become important transit points, helping travelers acclimatize and continue safely. Built by the Border Roads Organization, this route not only has transportation significance but also plays a crucial strategic role, connecting remote areas and supporting military logistics. Today, efforts to maintain and improve the route continue, ensuring that no matter how harsh, this road remains a vital lifeline in the Himalayan region, where every trip is not just a journey but an unforgettable experience. James Dalton Highway. In the northern part of the United States, amidst the wild and frigid lands of Alaska, lies a road considered a life-or-death challenge for even the most seasoned drivers. The James Dalton Highway is not an ordinary road with lush greenery or dreamy landscapes. Dalton is a journey fraught with dangers, where humans must struggle against nature to survive. This route stretches 666 kilometers through snow-white fields and some of the world's roughest terrain, built in 1974 to serve the Trans-Alaska Pipeline System. This road became a crucial transport link to the oil fields in Prudhoe Bay, but despite its economic importance, Dalton is better known for the extreme danger it poses. Unlike typical highways with smooth pavement, Dalton is mostly gravel and dirt, making vehicles prone to skidding. In winter, when temperatures can drop to -51 degrees Celsius, snow and ice cover the road, turning every meter traveled into a life-or-death challenge. A sudden blizzard can reduce visibility to near zero, and even a small mistake can put drivers in life-threatening situations. But what makes Dalton one of the world's most feared roads is not just the weather but also the isolation along its hundreds of kilometers. There are only 3 small towns, Coldfoot, Wiseman, and Deadhorse, offering minimal services like gas stations, food, and lodging. However, given the harsh conditions, these services are extremely limited. Once you set wheels on Dalton, drivers must be entirely self-reliant, thoroughly prepared with everything from fuel and food to survival gear, because if trouble arises, help is nearly impossible. This harshness makes Dalton not just a road but a symbol of human will against severe nature. Anyone daring to conquer this place must possess nerves of steel, unwavering perseverance, and a bit of luck to safely complete the journey. Dalsani, the gateway to the legendary lands of Africa. If Dalton is a journey of ice and extreme challenges in the far north, Dalsani in Africa offers a completely different experience. Where treacherous terrain, unpredictable weather, and pristine beauty leave anyone in awe. Located at an altitude of 2,865 meters above sea level, Dalsani is considered one of the highest and most challenging mountain passes in Africa. This route connects South Africa with the Kingdom of Lesotho, a mysterious land nestled among towering mountain ranges. And is not a smooth, paved road. Dalsani is a journey full of thorns, where every turn harbors danger, and every slope is a challenge for drivers. Here, only 4-wheel drive vehicles can travel safely, as the roads are not only rugged but also constantly change after heavy rains. Loose rocks, unexpected potholes, and steep inclines make driving through here akin to a duel with nature. With just a moment of carelessness, wheels can get stuck in mud or slip off a narrow road clinging to the mountainside. But perhaps the most frightening aspect of conquering Dalsani is the sudden change in weather. Within minutes, a clear blue sky can be replaced by thick, dense fog, obscuring the driver's view. Sometimes, unexpected rain showers also pour down, making the already difficult road surface even more dangerous. For those unaccustomed to this type of weather, driving through thick white fog on a high mountain pass is both thrilling and overwhelming. However, if one overcomes these challenges, the summit of Dalsani offers a well-deserved reward. This is where travelers can meet the Batoto people, who have lived in this highland region for generations. They not only welcome visitors with warm smiles but also share ancestral stories about this sacred land. In their simple stone houses, Batoto men may play traditional instruments like the lesiba and maropa, bringing the wild, mystical sounds of the African highlands. And another special feature. Right at the summit of Elsani, there is a famous pub known as the highest altitude pub in Africa. Nothing is more wonderful than sitting inside, sipping a hot cup of tea, gazing out at the endless majestic mountains, and enjoying the feeling of touching the boundary between humanity and wild nature. Conquering Elsani is not just a journey on the road, but also an exploration of new things, challenging personal limits, and immersing oneself in a mysterious culture in the heart of Africa. Jabal Hafid, the majestic mountain route in the UAE desert. If you have ever tested your skills on treacherous routes like Elsani in South Africa, the journey up Jabal Hafid Mountain in the United Arab Emirates, UAE, offers a completely different experience. Gone are the sheer cliffs and challenging steep slopes. Instead, there is a smooth, winding paved road that snakes through towering rock formations in the vast desert. This is not only one of the most beautiful routes in the UAE, but also a masterpiece blending nature and human craftsmanship. Here, every turn reveals a spectacular view, leaving anyone who sets foot here utterly amazed. As the car slowly rolls along the winding road, the scenery on both sides gradually changes with every meter of elevation. Vast sand dunes stretch to the horizon, reflecting the brilliant golden sunlight, while rock cliffs with all sorts of strange shapes jut out, as if carved by the hand of time. In the distance, the city of Al Ain appears like a green gem in the desert, with rows of palm trees providing shade and lush gardens contrasting completely with the arid surroundings. Thanks to this unique beauty, Al Ain is known as the Garden City, a surprising stop in the heart of a harsh land. The higher you go, the air becomes cooler and fresher, bringing a pleasant sense of relaxation. Along the way, travelers can stop at well-placed viewpoints to admire the entire majestic beauty of the mountain range and the desert below. But Jabal Hafid not only has impressive natural landscapes, but also holds valuable historical traces. In some areas near the mountaintop, ancient tombs dating back over 5,000 years have been discovered, revealing the distant history of the civilization here. These ruins serve as a reminder that beneath the dust of time, this land was once home to many generations of ancient people, holding countless untold stories. The journey to the summit of Jabal Hafid is also a time to enjoy a colorful feast for the senses. As the sun gradually sets behind the mountain range, the sky turns into a brilliant orange-red hue, with gentle light spreading across the space, casting onto the rocky slopes, creating a breathtakingly beautiful scene. What could be more wonderful than enjoying the cool mountain breeze while savoring traditional Emirati dishes at one of the mountaintop restaurants, with a fragrant cup of tea and a meal rich in local flavors amidst the vast expanse of sky and earth? This is the perfect combination of experiences that leaves a lasting memory. Jabal Hafid is not merely a route but a journey connecting people with nature, history, and moments of peace in the soul. For those who love exploration, this will certainly be a destination not to be missed. The Kolima Highway in Russia. The R504 Kolyma Highway, part of the M56 route, is a road traversing the far east of Russia. This route connects Magadan with the town of Nizhny Bestyak, located on the eastern bank of the Lena River opposite Yakutsk. The Kolyma Highway connects to the Lena Highway and is often called the Road of Bones. The old 420-kilometer section through Tantor is largely unmaintained, and the 200-kilometer section between Tantor and Kondiga has been completely abandoned. This section is called the Old Summer Road and has fallen into disrepair, with bridges washed away and sections reclaimed by streams in summer. In winter, frozen rivers can support river crossings. The Old Summer Road remains one of the biggest challenges for adventure motorcyclists. The area is extremely cold in winter. The town of Oymyakon, about 100 kilometers from the highway, is considered the coldest inhabited place on Earth. The average temperature in Oymyakon in January is minus 50 degrees Celsius. The Kolyma Highway is not only dangerous due to traffic conditions but also associated with dark stories. It is called the Road of Bones because the bones of prisoners who died during its construction are said to be buried right beside the road. And so, these strange roads are not just passages but also testaments to human perseverance, ingenuity, and courage. There are roads so dangerous they take your breath away, and roads that disappear in a blink. But the most important thing is not how they were built, but the story behind each road. Stories about people, about the connection between past and present, between nature and civilization. Which road impressed you the most? Share your thoughts by leaving a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't. Thank you for joining us. See you in the next adventures.